Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Faisal Shahzad has been arrested. He has been arrested. This is the guy who trying to, as far as we can tell, trying to detonate a bomb in Times Square. He was apparently at the airport trying to catch a flight to Dubai when we got him. And it appears that he is originally from Pakistan. He is a United States citizen. He was just naturalized last year, and of course there's going to be controversies as to how we deal with him. So now the question is, was he on the plane or was he not on the plane? Because they took 3 people off the plane. Some reports have him on the plane along with 2 others, and then those 2 others are questioned and then put back on the plane. They had nothing to do with anything. Some reports are saying that he was not on the plane. They were just looking for perhaps co-conspirators, and that those 2 people turned out to be not co-conspirators, so they were put back on the plane. So, but either way, they did get him at the airport. There's no question about that. Of course, immediately launching several controversies. Number one, how could he get on a plane when he was on a no-fly list? He had no run-ins with authorities earlier. They put him on the no-fly list a couple of hours ago. So when they found out that he was a suspect, because they traced the car back to him, the SUV, he had bought the car. He thought he was clever, and he took the number off the dashboard for the car, the registration number, but it's also on the engine. Oops, didn't think of that. So that led back to him. They catch him, and before they caught him, they're like, all right, put his name on the no-fly list. And guess what? He didn't fly. Mission accomplished? Seems pretty good, right? In a matter of a couple of hours, and this, as far as him being put on the no-fly list, and then the event obviously happened over the weekend, so it took about 50 hours before they got him. I don't know who should get the credit for it. New York police, FBI, probably a combination thereof. Fantastic job of catching him before he leaves the country. I know who shouldn't get blamed. Those guys. They caught him. I don't know what more you want from them. Okay, and the plane didn't take off under any circumstances, so I don't see any problems there. Now, so-called controversy number 2. I hope he doesn't get Miranda warnings. Otherwise, of course, we'll have more terrorist plots. Yeah, because terrorists is like, well, I'll do the bombing if I get Miranda warnings. But if I don't get Miranda warnings, if I'm caught later, I probably won't do the bombing. Which terrorist thinks like that? All right, so these are not like, guys off the street. United States senators and congressmen, John McCain, saying he shouldn't get Miranda warnings. He's a United States citizen. Okay? Steve King, same thing, congressman from New York. Of course, Joe Lieberman, he says, oh, well, there's an old law, and an old law says that we can take people out of citizenship, and maybe we should go back to that. Here's Stephen King's quote. I hope that Attorney General Eric Holder did discuss this with the intelligence community. If they believe they got enough from him, how much should they get? Did they Mirandize him? I know he's an American citizen, but still. But still what? Now, look, think about the absurd suggestion Lieberman has and what McCain and King are backing up. That we remove him from his status as American citizen and then do not Mirandize him because he's a terrorist suspect. But we haven't proven anything yet. We don't know that he did it. Now, look, they seem pretty sure, and I, generally speaking, maybe I might be wrong about this, but I trust the FBI that they got the right guy, and not every case, but, look, it looks like they're pretty certain on this one. But I don't trust them like, oh, well, then, okay, we don't need a trial. Of course we need a trial. Of course we need to see if they got the right guy. Do you remember the Bush years when they got wrong guy after wrong guy? Let alone the ones that they put in Guantanamo Bay because somebody turned them in for $5,000 somewhere in the middle of Afghanistan. I mean, look, it doesn't matter. The whole point of the Constitution is we have trials for American citizens. We don't just decide, oh, okay, they're guilty because the authorities said so. Let's not only not give them Miranda warnings or their constitutional rights, but let's preemptively strip them of their American citizenship. That's mental. Okay, under that philosophy, all you got to do is accuse anyone of being a terrorist suspect. Okay, I think you're a terrorism suspect, Sean Hannity, so you're no longer an American citizen. Okay, now I take away your rights. Oh, right-wingers don't like that. All of a sudden, That's constitutional issues. Oh, well, of course, only if it's for right-wingers. But for a guy named, Faisal Shahzad, obviously he's stripping him of American citizenship. Look, that doesn't make any sense. And if you're a real conservative, and all these guys that are concerned about, big government is coming, and Constitution, they're holding on to their constitutions, well, you would think that proposal was terrible and disastrous. And guess what? Are you ready for a big surprise? You know who agrees with us? Glenn Beck. Beck said on Fox this morning, he said, look, the Constitution holds whether it's popular or unpopular. And the guy, Brian Kilmeade, interviewing him on Fox and Friends, was like, but come on, this guy's a terrorist. And Beck said, no, he's, has certain constitutional rights. Of course he does. I can't believe that now Beck has become the sane one among conservatives, at least on this issue, for the moment being. Do you believe in miracles? And Kilmeade is such a tool. Oh, but come on, he's just accused of being a terrorist suspect. Brian, how about when you get accused? And we say, well, you no longer have any rights, so you don't get to prove whether you're innocent or guilty. That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. And if you're a conservative, you'd be totally against that. If you're a liberal, you'd be totally against that. If you're an American and understand the concept of America, you'd be totally against that. But apparently, John McCain, Joe Lieberman, and Stephen King, among others, don't understand the concept of America.